What up, Chad? I hope you guys are having a fan-freaking-tastic one. Ooh, let's just drop that audio just a little bit there. That is really loud in my ears. Chad, I hope you guys are having a fan-freaking-tastic one. I am using the, what's this thing called? The Player 23 setup. So I'm in the other office right now because the boys are streaming the elections right now. So we are on a different side of the office. I don't have two screens, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me just a little bit. I'm gonna cut that. But yeah, we're gonna be reacting to Imam Trading and the video he did on Words of Rizdom and everything that goes on with that. So we're gonna be reacting to that. You are gonna be able to see a little bit of the background here because of I only have one screen here, so you're gonna have to bear with me for 2 seconds. But yeah, we're busy setting up this office so I can stream from here permanently. So it's gonna take a couple days to set everything up. So yeah, okay, let's go into that video, and we're gonna react to it. So give me 3, 2, 1.
Be surprised to hear that a YouTube channel who regularly interviews the top trading influencers is the encapsulation of everything wrong with day trading education, a funnel for frauds and scammers, and a major contributor to the failure rate of beginners. Because when you give this guy a platform to trick people into thinking that he knows what he's talking about or that he can actually trade, they believe it, deposit their money in an account for him to trade, and then they're left with nothing after he loses it all. After the trading community learned that this frequently interviewed guest, Casper SMC, was a fraud, which included pretending to be making money from trading while secretly using a SIM account as proven by this picture here, he was still let back onto the channel for more unsuspecting beginners to buy his mentorship. Unsurprisingly, this resulted in a firestorm of backlash. And by the way, that mentorship that Casper sells, it costs $5,000 to $12,000 depending on how much money his team thinks they can get from you.
Just imagine though, total scam. This person can't trade, they're a total sham. But they're willing to sell their membership, or their mentorship rather, for $12,000. I mean, that is actually insane. Like I feel like I'm not bold enough as a person. Like I need to back myself a little bit more and be a little brazen, because you know he's getting sales. Can't trade, total scam, $12,000 a pop. Like, it's actually ridiculous.
Words of Rizdom is knowingly allowing a fraud to sell expensive mentorships to unsuspecting beginners. And several days after I started making this, I found something insane. Covering the Words of Rizdom channel had been on my list for a while, but I thought I didn't have enough for a dedicated video. Wow, was I wrong. When looking at the video description on one of his videos, I thought to myself, hold on a sec. I've seen that wording and link before. So I clicked it and was disappointed, but not surprised, to see that Riz had just started selling some crappy mentorship and course. I make sure in my videos to only make it a point of interest if it's a special circumstance or if I have proof that the person can't actually trade. So just in case I wanted to use it, I decided to record myself filling out the form. And almost immediately, I realized what was happening. This was not your typical trading YouTuber's new money grab from beginners. No. It's far worse. This is actually the sign-up process and page for Casper SMC's mentorship, the one we were just talking about for
dun dun dun.
being exposed as a fraud. If you were actually making money from trading, would you use a sim account instead of a real account and miss out on supposed millions? No, because you're not stupid. Fake gurus use sim accounts so they can delete the losses and only upload the wins, giving you the impression that they know how to trade. They cherry pick and upload just the wins in order to funnel you to their course. It's the single easiest way to fool people and requires the least amount of effort. Mr. Iqbal appears to be an affiliate for Casper, and my conservative guess is that he makes $1,000 to $3,000 when you sign up. That's why he continues to give Casper a platform to target new beginners. A far greater and more impactful thing happened while I was working on this.
That is actually so disingenuous. Like, not only is this dude platforming scammers, he's profiting off platforming scammers. It's hard to take someone like that seriously in the game, where it's like what he does is an awesome way of giving trading a little bit of a voice, getting trading to a larger community, really building something special. But instead of being different from the flock, he's just profiting off platforming these people. Like the amount of money that is being taken away because he platforms these people. And one could argue, listen, he's just giving traders a voice, and whatever happens is on them. He stays neutral. He doesn't lean one way or the other. But the fact that they're on his platform, like because he doesn't lean one way or the other, it's almost an endorsement of these people to be on his platform in the first place.
But you'll see why I saved it for the end. How about Fair Value God, whose entire growth as an ICT influencer was based on appearing like a successful trader? But we confirmed with the broker that months and months of the trades he posted were all just selectively uploaded wins using a sim account. This is not up to debate. The order IDs confirm everything, and you can learn more about both him and Casper in this video after. This interview is still up for new traders to find and then be funneled into a $5,000 course, which is even more despicable because it's for ICT concepts that are all available to learn for free online.
And I log on this Discord room I'm in, and these people are talking about fair value gaps. And I was like, what's a fair value gap? And they're like, oh, dude, price likes to go and draw towards them, and they react off these levels. And I was like, really? Let me see this thing. So they sent me this indicator that painted like every single fair value gap on your chart. And I was noticing, I was like, dude, the precision on this is like insane.
Ask yourself why this 100% accurate fair value gap indicator is available for anyone to use for free if it actually works. You will never pay for anything in trading once you realize how silly it is to think that a free indicator has an edge on its own, but we'll cover that soon.
And that's the thing. They always it's 100% accurate. It'll make you money. All these promises. And like, if someone really discovered the holy grail in trading, like, I think about this for a second. If someone discovered the holy grail of trading, this thing works, it's a concept that works, it makes money, they would use it for themselves to make millions. Like, they're not going to sell that to anyone. They're not going to give it away. And they're certainly not uploading it on TradingView for free. Like, once you start to think a little bit, like, what does this person have to gain by sharing this information with you? That's when you start to iron out these frauds.
Advice related to the mental side of trading can be quite good. But wow, isn't it crazy how all the self-proclaimed successful traders start posting pictures of expensive cars and homes only after they start selling mentorships and courses? Almost makes you think, like how ICT lived in a rundown townhome over 10 years into being a supposed millionaire day trader, yet he was only able to move into this mansion after he sold multiple mentorships. And now, after failing the Robbins Cup again, just like he has every time, he still has the audacity to claim that what he has was paid for by trading, except for the time he was honest.
I made so much more money teaching than I did trading.
We'd be here forever if we covered each person that Iqbal has led on the show, and I'm sure that there's a couple legit ones, or at least some people who haven't made absurd claims about their trading, but any real value is completely ruined by the presence of proven frauds and classic fake gurus with zero proof of profitability just spouting nonsense. The harm that his channel does far outweighs the rare instances of legitimate value. I'll prove this with just a couple of the guests, and then we'll move on to more important issues. However,
it actually almost stains your reputation when to be associated with people like this. Like, you could be genuinely one of the transparent, non-scammy people in the industry, but as soon as you associate with this kind of tomfoolery, it sort of like sours your own reputation.
I will say that you're not the sharpest tool in the shed if you think that an unprofitable live streaming trader suddenly found profitability the moment they created their own broker to trade through. Nothing suspicious there, huh? While I was working on this, Riz accidentally admitted that there was no vetting process to see if anyone being led on was actually a profitable trader. So that's it. There is no debate on what I'm saying here. But we'll cover that and much more later. Almost all trading influencers are so inexperienced at trading that they don't even know how bad their advice is. So, if any of them are watching, prepare to take notes. Then again, it's also possible that they know the advice is complete nonsense, but they say it anyway. Why? Because they need you to believe that the answer to profitability is behind a paywall in order to sell you a mentorship or course. Alright, let's get started.
Actually, like that is extremely true. That is extreme. Have you seen? I think it was on Top Trader. That clip of them asking like, "What is trading?" and them not being able to answer the question. Like, imagine claiming to be a multi-million rand trader. You've been doing this for years. You're super profitable. You know exactly what you're doing, but you can't even answer the question, "What is trading?" Like the basic day one baby pips side of things. You're stumped.
If you want your next trade to be a winner, you can make sure it's a winner. Hey, all you unprofitable traders out there, have you tried just making sure your next trade is a winner? Wow, I wish I had thought of that. I didn't even have to look for examples of stupid advice. I just stumbled onto this by accident, which is crazy because Mr. Iqbal shares clips of what he thinks are the best and most insightful parts of his podcast. That means that this unfathomably stupid advice is actually a highlight. So I can't even imagine what they normally talk about if this is one of the best and most captivating parts. Thankfully, many are waking up with replies like this that say, "Truly sad, biggest nonsense I've ever heard." So Iqbal responds with the Joker clapping with a caption that says, "Cool story, bro," which stopped being funny when I was in 5th grade, and I graduated college 2 years ago. So that was received exactly how you'd expect with a 1 to 20 risk-reward ratio. Hey, maybe you should listen to...
A 1:20 risk-reward ratio.
his podcast advice and make sure his next reply is a winner. How about that? Let's take a look at an even better example of what trading influencers and beginners think is good advice. Almost like their lack of profitability and what they believe is good advice is somehow correlated, huh? Almost like when you're not profitable, you should be questioning whether the advice you're following makes sense.
In the Matrix, there was a black cat.
Yeah.
In the Matrix, and you saw the cat glitch, walk away. Neo noticed it, and then when he looked back, the cat did the same thing. Glitched, walk away. That's essentially what the market is. The market is you finding that glitch and exploiting it. You finding that thing that commonly occurs, and you go to execute a trade based on that.
Yeah.
Because if Neo turned back around and went downstairs and came back up again, would the cat glitch again? Yeah, it was something that was stuck in a loop. So if we believe that price is an algorithm, we believe that the market is an algorithm, it does the same thing every day, it does the same thing over and over again, then we need to learn the signatures of what it does when it's getting ready to do the next thing.
This is Dave. I just clicked on his account and
That is the most insightful piece of nonsense I have ever heard in my life.
took a screenshot of what he has pinned at the top, which is that he hates how people in the trading industry ask for proof of influencers' ability to trade. He also says there's literally so much free information out there to succeed at trading. Interesting. First of all,
so if we believe that price is an algorithm, we believe that the market is an algorithm.
If you believe that the market is controlled by an algorithm, are you fucking kidding me? For the people who have a basic understanding of how markets function and are wondering what kind of redacted silly goose believes that the entire market is controlled by a master algorithm. Well, ICT, the biggest channel and fraud in the entire day trading space.
Remember, folks, ICT programmed the algorithm. Like that bad boy is his.
Has convinced the most vulnerable of his followers that he coded an algorithm that controls price action and that the market runs entirely on it. No, I'm not joking. As for Dave's analogy about the cat, which translates into finding a pattern to exploit, we'll get there in a sec. First, just one more example of the brilliant traders that Riz lets on the podcast.
So at one point, I started a Signal group. I was like, okay, let me make more money. I'm going to start a Signal group. I started it. I had the best month. I had like 10%. After that, it went all bad. As soon as everyone could see my trades, And I was promoting all my payouts because I was like, I want people to join. So everyone saw that, and I think just God was like, you're showing everyone all that, and now you're gonna lose for 5 months. And
It's like just teaching you to be more private for yourself.
yeah, and especially something I used to always say to myself, my edge is like God powered, because it's like the markets are so random. For you to have an edge long term, it kind of needs some sort of miracle. So I was like, God is powering my edge. And then as soon as I reveal the edge to everyone, God is like punishing me. It's like for 5 months now, maybe forever. But I was scared. I was like, never gonna make a payout.
Do I even need to say anything? Come on. A guy who sells trade signals with zero qualifications or legal rights to do that thinks his edge is powered by God and that his losing was God teaching him a lesson? Uh-huh. Great job letting this guy on the podcast. Oh, and Riz, maybe you should have had him sign up for your newsletter so he'd get better at trading, you know? As you say on your website, to be the very best trader, you must have the best resources. This includes fundamental research and discounts. Hey, maybe it wasn't God. Maybe his problem with trading is that he didn't have discounts. If Fundamental Research is a new funding company, I sure hope it goes better than your last firm where you scammed everyone. I'm not kidding. We'll get there in a minute. The course sellers and trading signal sellers will tell you that what I'm about to say is wrong, but that's only because it proves that their services and products are useless. This table here is called time and sales, and it updates every time a trade is taken in real time. Most of you are used to it being displayed like this. How about a moving average? When you take a practically unlimited amount of data and constrict it to such a major simplification like a candle, of course there will be patterns. There's only so many ways that data can be recorded and displayed. What you're hypothetically looking for is if any of these patterns result in something happening more often than not afterwards in order to exploit it for profit. If you're looking for a pattern that truly gives you an edge, then you better know something that millions of other traders don't, let alone the banks and funds backed by billions of dollars using people and computers to exploit even the briefest moment of non-randomness. But here's the thing. If you really did find something, would you tell people? Would you sell it for $50 a month and spend...
That's exactly what I was saying. It's you have found something that is going to make you a shit ton of money. And you're willing to give it to people for 50 bucks a month, $100 a month, $300 a month? Like, why? What would be the point of that? If you're making millions off this thing, why are you hunting $300 a month from other people? Like, think about how that makes sense.
8 hours a day marketing on YouTube and social media with clickbait? I'm not just talking about these patterns. This includes any course on any trading system like ICT or supply and demand. You know who did find something? Jim Simons. He and his hedge fund have been outperforming everybody for a long time. Besides the fact that Jim is no longer with us, rest in peace, how come his fund isn't on the Words of Rizdom podcast marketing their private mentorships and trading strategies? Is it because they're too busy taking notes during ICT's manic and narcissistic YouTube videos? You know why. Because stupid people can't succeed at trading, and smart people aren't stupid enough to lose money, their time, and their freedom by selling a real edge to people. These fake gurus say trading is about freedom and time while working 50+ hours a week on YouTube and social media to promote their courses. They hire teams of marketers, script writers, and editors to pump out as much trading content as possible to target beginners. They say things like, trading is perfect for introverts, but are constantly on each other's bullshit podcasts and channels spouting the same trading advice you can learn about from ChatGPT. And yet the success rates for beginners is still as low as it's ever been. Almost makes you think. Let's head over to Mr. Iqbal's profile on Linktree and...
That's actually crazy to think about how the success rate of beginners hasn't moved. In the advent of all the information on YouTube, all these gurus, all these courses, like the success rate for beginner traders is still near zero. And yet all these people claim like, oh, follow me, I have the edge. Some of them have thousands of students too. But we don't have thousands of newbie traders becoming profitable all of a sudden.
and check out this cool little Viper group website. I guess this is his private paid group where you get all kinds of things like Viper meetups, Viper elite lessons, Viper monk mode, and elite Discord channels. Wow, impressive. Bet that's definitely worth paying $100 per month for. 100 what? I don't know, I'm American. I assume that means kilometers. Relax, it's a joke. I know that symbol means Celsius. One selling point for Iqbal's Viper group is pro-technical analysis and helping you to develop a high risk to reward system. A high risk to reward system. Yeah? That's what that's gonna do? And can you explain to me what you mean by that and why that's a good thing? Mr. Iqbal, can you actually explain the reasoning behind why I would want to develop this so-called high risk to reward system? Because maybe somewhere during that explanation you'd realize how stupid that sounds, or maybe you're not even there yet in your trading progress to realize how meaningless this is. And to the viewers thinking, yeah, you tell him, my man, a low risk to reward system is what's best. No, also nonsense, but I'm still proud of you. 2 years ago when I was experimenting and developing my own trading system, an unprofitable trader gave me unprofitable trader advice and said, hey, just lower the risk and increase the profit target so you don't have to be right as often in order to make money. For a split second I went, great idea. And then that was immediately followed up by, wait a minute, why would I suddenly develop an edge by just changing some metric that people made up? Changing the ratio wouldn't give you an edge, you'd just start losing or winning more often, yet ending up with the same overall return. And so I made this video about how the break-even win rate on a specific risk-reward ratio could be used as an indication of each individual trade working out. Because if you don't have an edge, the grand total result of all of your trades over lots of data will be break-even before commissions and spread. Changing the ratio has no effect on the overall return, hence the mocking picture here. I knew I was right, except I was far too lazy at the time to actually test it and prove it with real numbers. So I got someone else to do it. Thanks. One trade taken every day at the market open of the NASDAQ going back to 2017. 2 different tests, 2 different risk-reward ratios. If we took more trades in this test instead of just 1 a day, the 35% win rate would converge to 33%, and the 53% win rate would converge to 50%. Change the time, change the numbers, doesn't matter. It'll revert to what we'd expect with random trades, aka what every new trader is doing for probably at least a year, and that's only if they ever really do develop an actual edge. So do you...
I'm actually quite surprised that that strategy is actually profitable. That's actually quite funny.
now get why the sentence on the site is such a goofy thing to say. Hold on a sec. Hey guys, join my paid group and I'll help you wear a cool pair of pants while you trade. And you go, what? Why would that have any effect on my results? Why would that all of a sudden give me an edge? That's unrelated to the goal of achieving non-random results. It's just an independent variable that has nothing to do with what's required to actually make money. That's just something that comes after what we care about. And yeah, that's still you speaking. Great points. I agree with you. No system is inherently inferior or superior to another. Low risk, high reward. High risk, low reward, it doesn't matter. The metric only means something in relation to the win rate. I can give you a 90% win rate system right now. Go ahead and backtest this. That doesn't mean it'll actually make more money than it loses though, and that's the problem. Unprofitable fake gurus don't even have enough experience to understand the deeper problems with the useless advice that they spread. You need to develop a high win rate system. Wow, thanks for telling all of us that you've never been consistently profitable. You need to make your losses smaller than your winners. Again, that's strike 2. You're making bullshit generalizations about metrics that only have value in relation to other metrics. Win rate only means something in relation to risk reward ratios and vice versa. The moment you have a positive return rather than a break-even result, bang, you just found something non-random. That's an edge. Of course, the sample size needs to be big enough, but one step at a time here.
See, that's the problem with all these fake gurus, is that the stuff they say isn't necessarily completely wrong. The problem is it's a part of a truth. It's not the whole picture. So it's like half truths the whole time, and you think like, oh man, but obviously your losses need to be smaller than your winners. But like hearing that doesn't solve the problem of how to even achieve that in the first place.
So next time you see a fake guru talking about risk-reward ratios or win rates incorrectly, just laugh and know deep down that you understand trading at a deeper level than them. If you ever get discouraged about the failure rates of traders, just know that people actually follow stuff like this. I saw about 10 posts from him over the course of a couple weeks and went, hey, I've seen this before, and I collected all of these in just a couple minutes. Now imagine hundreds of people reading the 20th post about how trading is great for introverts and going, wow, Steve, that's super insightful. Great point. Hello? Alright, back to Words of Rizdom, which is actually a super smart play on words for combining his name with words of wisdom. Hey, you know what? I've got one for you. How about Words of Rizdom? Yeah, how's that? You can't say Words of Rizdom without saying dumb. Alright.
I have to admit, Imam is pretty funny. Like this guy doesn't miss.
That was fun, but let's get genuinely angry for a sec, as you can tell by the uncharacteristic disorganization and tone of this video. That is, unless I chilled out and reorganized the 24 pages that this turned into. I did not. Rizdom isn't bad just for giving frauds and bad advice a platform to be spread to millions of vulnerable beginners, ruining some of their chances to succeed because their entire foundation of learning gets started on a massive layer of bullshit. No, not just bad for having zero process of checking if guests are actually profitable traders or just scammers. No. Early in 2024, he was involved in a massive scandal. He and some other influencers partnered up to be founders of a prop firm called Skilled Funded Traders. You can see that they're still in the channel banner. They used to make all kinds of videos together, and everything was looking good. See, look at all this fun influencer stuff. They even did a big sale so as many people would buy as many accounts as they could right before ending the company. Wait, what? Yep, the company threw a big sale.
And they now what happened with Skilled Funded Trader is it was a white label company of the Funded Trader and a bunch of other prop firms mixed in together that were ran by a guy by the name of Angelo. So when the Funded Trader and all his other prop firms went down, the Skilled Funded Trader went down with them. So they hid behind the fact that, listen, they weren't really in control. They were just like affiliates, or not really affiliates, but like low-level partners. They didn't have controlling stake. They got tricked too. They went on this whole boo-hoo, woe is me, we're victims too rant. But it was actually a lot of people lost a lot of money on that deal, eh?
Right before they rug pulled everyone and kept the money. No, they didn't change the rules to continue operations with some form of compensation or ability for the traders to still get their payouts. No, there were no refunds.
At the same time, however, going into April, I was approached by Omar Paladin, and they let me know that they were going to be launching a prop firm.
They scammed thousands of traders out of refunds and payouts. Apparently, Rizdom left the company 2 weeks prior to this, and if you don't think he knew that issues were coming, then you might just be putting the dumb in Rizdom. To this day, people are still rightfully upset about it, as they should be. These awesome trading influencers were the owners and faces of the company right up until they scammed everyone. And then they were just poor little influencers and it wasn't their fault. Mr. Iqbal even made a video covering the situation and pulled an ICT by disabling the comment section. Now, that video is currently unlisted, so you can watch it through that link if you want. Better go quick though, he'll probably delete it after this video comes out. It was a massive scandal, and it's part of why Paladin deleted his entire presence on YouTube. Look, ICT's Wonderboy doesn't have any videos up. Hope you've been enjoying my videos, Paladin. You're the only subscriber I don't like. Nah, I'm just kidding. Not about not liking Paladin. I mean, I'm sure there's some other subscribers that I don't like. Not you, of course. You're great. I'm talking about the bad ones. Me and you, we're tight. Hey guys, subscribe to my channel and you'll become my best friend. It's important for us to develop a parasocial relationship so that I can sell you my expensive mentorship.
This dude doesn't miss. This dude does not miss.
And I'll make it cost so much that even if I get exposed for being a fraud, you'll defend me with your last dying breath because the reality of accepting that I scammed you is just too painful to bear. No.
That's the one thing I don't get about these a lot of these scammers have these die-hard fans, like absolutely die-hard, and no matter what evidence you bring forth, their fans refuse to believe that they're a scammer. It is absolutely if I had even like 5 friends who would ride or die with me that hard, I'm telling you I could take over the world.
My best friend would never do that. Or maybe I'll pull a Words of Rizdom and just promote my buddy Casper the Fraud's mentorship. To avoid the unavoidable, here's a mandatory reminder that I've built a website containing everything that you need in order to learn to trade for free. There's nothing to buy because if I had an edge that could be automated, aka something that doesn't require discretion to work, do you think I'd be stupid enough to sell it? No. Just a few seconds about me to prevent some comments. I'm now on 4 consecutive months of consistent prop firm payouts totaling $9,200, but I'm not consistently profitable. I only trade on the side, and that money is awesome, but it's not even minimum wage after accounting for the true hours that went into it. I've been trading through my funded futures because they're by far the most cost-effective firm, and it's not even close. But read the review on my website to see which of the multiple trading plans is best for you. That's only if you decide to take the prop firm route and only if you're ready. Use a SIM account for a while, and please don't waste your money. Stop searching for a shortcut and actually put in the work. And now we get to what I hinted at in the beginning of the video, which is what Rizdom posted 1 week into me working on this. From now on, the podcast is making a big change. He's only going to be letting on traders with verified results and track records. We could sit here and talk about how insane it is that he's let unverified and unprofitable traders on the podcast for years, or we could appreciate the positive change. Initially, I thought, nice job, Rizdom. This is good. And then I woke up because all of this is completely ruined by the fact that he's promoting his fake guru friend Casper SMC's insanely priced mentorship. And of course, wow, are our standards really so low for...
I love how the caption there is guaranteed to get funded. Like, and that's another sign of these scammers doing their thing, is the absolute language. Like, you're guaranteed to get funding. This will revolutionize your trading, 100% success rate. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous.
Trading influencers that we feel like we should celebrate and praise them for doing what's expected, for doing the bare minimum. It's like we're supposed to thank someone when they don't scam us. In fact, the more I think about this, the more angry I get. Thank you for admitting that you were letting on unverified traders this whole time, Riz. I don't think you meant to admit that when you made your post about changing your podcast to only allowing real traders on. Guys, from now on, I'm only letting on real traders. Then what the fuck were you doing before? And I couldn't definitively say that you were doing that until you made the post. This is confirmation that anyone with influence was allowed on and there was no vetting process or requirement to know how to trade. Riz did nothing to check their track records, payouts, or anything. That's insane, and it confirms everything that I talked about in this video before he posted this. And I'm glad to see that I'm not the only one who's going, wait a minute people, why are you praising doing the bare minimum? I think this is a great idea. Verify the traders who are already on the channel, and if they can't comply, remove their videos. You know, remove...
Oh, that's actually a bloody good idea. Like, yeah, he should, I mean, like, to be honest, he should have done this from day one. One could argue, hey, listen, he was getting a start, he was staying neutral and all that, but, like, it's irresponsible in this space to give scammers a platform. And, like, if you are not part of fixing it, you're a part of the problem.
Move them like you did for your explanation how rug pulling thousands of traders from your prop firm wasn't your fault. You are contributing to the failure rates of beginners by being a catalyst for the dissemination of horrible, illogical, and directly harmful advice. Verify all those ICT traders who are converting beginners into believing that everything is controlled by a master algorithm invented by a delusional, unprofitable narcissist. You play a major part in the failure of traders. Rizdom never responded to what I said, but he did later make this post about how the response to his announcement was unexpected. Nice job, truly putting the dumb in words of Rizdom. You can't fathom how doing the bare minimum of only letting on real traders from now on doesn't get you a gold star or approval from the people you've scammed? Holy moly, dude. He actually now has another channel, and I'd be surprised if he didn't create this as an outlet to keep milking his fake guru friends and their gullible followers. And yeah, that description says real traders on it. I'm sure he'll change that one at some point in the future. We've got stuff like eating spicy chicken, shows and stuff, and lots more that I can't believe people enjoy or find funny. Let's just be done with this. If you can't figure out who's a fake guru and who's not, ask yourself if there's any evidence of them being legit. You're thinking about it backwards. It's easier to prove something wrong than it is to prove something right. Don't look for fraud, look for proof of knowing how to trade. I'll save you some time, you won't find it 99.9% of the time. Trading gurus are marketers, and consistent profitability would be the greatest marketing possible, yet it's nowhere to be found. And remember, only the dumb ones get caught. Not finding something bad on someone just means they're not stupid. I know all of the tricks, and I could be the best fake guru of all time. I could convince you with fake profitable accounts using my FX book that I'm an insanely good trader, and you would buy my course. But I don't. Look at how I've exposed the biggest channels committing real fraud and how I've never clickbaited. It really just is that bad, and I've got far more to cover. Anyways, not everyone who goes on that podcast is a scammer, but that number is less than 5 at the highest, and I don't believe Rizdom is Rizdom enough to not know that he's giving unprofitable fake gurus a platform.
That is actually insane. Okay, let's go back to full screen here. It is actually insane how few legitimate trading influences are out there. Majority of them are scamming up the wazoo. It is actually freaking insane. But at least we have guys like Imam here. exposing them, showing us what's up, and that was actually a really good video. And the worst part is, like, when I started trading, I enjoyed watching Words of Rizdom. Watched it religiously, watching a couple of stuff, but like the more and more I learned about trading, the more and more I'm like, the guests here aren't that good. But I never like thought about like, oh, these are actual scammers until just recently, when I'm like, actually, what the fuck's going on here? So it's actually ridiculous where the industry is right now, how few legitimate traders are there, and and the thing is, like, the real legitimate traders who are out there making millions off the industry aren't the people who want to be in the spotlight, because, like, look, you're making actual money here. If you're making millions from the market, you're not caring about, oh, let me put myself on YouTube or Instagram and show people I'm making millions. You're out there living your life. You're doing your thing. You're not trying to sell a course, because why would you want to do that? You're going to go into some other industry if you want to make more money some other way. Like, it's actually crazy. But that was a really good video. Really enjoyed that. You can go ahead and give Imam a sub. The link to the original video will be in the description down below. And hopefully next week, we're going to get all this layout stuff fixed, and it's going to be a little bit more crisp for you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will